I'll have more tonight on the repercussions of those stunning targeted attacks by Israel against its terrorist enemies, because responses are likely. It's just the scale and the methods of the terrorist responses that's in question, and whether this leads to a wider war in the region. As I highlighted yesterday, one attack was confirmed and claimed by Israel, the Hezbollah commander Faoud Shukr killed in Lebanon, and the other killing, the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, taken out by a missile attack in Iran, a targeted hit clearly delivered by Israel, but one they're unlikely to claim. The Iranian leadership has already vowed retaliation. Now, both these men were murderous senior operatives of their respective Islamist extremist terrorist outfits. Haniyeh once led Hamas in Gaza before basing himself in Qatar and directing operations from there. His fatal mistake might have been leaving that country to meet with his Iranian backers. Have a look at the chant that broke out in Tehran just 2 days ago when Haniyeh was in their parliamentary chamber for the swearing in of the president.
در برابر محور جنایت است. همه باید مشخص کنند در کدام
And of course, just for good measure, when in Iran, you always have to denounce the other great Satan. How can you reason with this regime? I've been to Tehran, I've sat in meetings with these religious and political leaders, and they are viscerally committed to the destruction of Israel. That's their stated goal. It has been for years. And remember, it's Iranian money and Iranian weapons and Iranian strategy that drives the Hezbollah rocket barrages that have killed so many innocent Israelis. And it's believed to have been Iran that gave the imprimatur for the October 7th massacre by Hamas. Iran also backs and arms the Houthis, who have attacked Israel recently as well. Still, here in Australia, the ABC's global commentator seems to think that Israel has made a mistake by striking back at its enemies while in Iran.
If Israel is behind the assassination, why would they want to kill Hamas's chief negotiator on the ceasefire now?
Especially given that it's in Iran, and if anything will push Iran to give the signal to Hezbollah to go ahead with increased hostilities against Israel, it will be the killing in Iran.
Yeah, well, that's one view. I think Israel must defend itself. I think Israeli defence, security and intelligence officials will have a very good idea about the possible repercussions. And I think the alternative of Israel just accepting murderous attacks without defending itself is unthinkable. Israel knows it will be attacked by people committed to its destruction. It has ever been thus. What it should get is more support from the international community. Have a look at this. Also in Australia today, the Iranian embassy has been flying its flag at half-mast, presumably in recognition of the Hamas leader, a murderous terrorist leader honoured in Canberra today. That is pretty confronting and pretty sickening. Australians, meanwhile, are being warned to leave Lebanon, where many thousands of Aussies have relatives and visit regularly. There are fears that war could break out across the Lebanese border again between Israel and Hezbollah, and it could be hard for Australians to leave once that happens. Nearly 10 months on from the October the 7th atrocities, the repercussions continue, and they're still likely to escalate. Remember, more than 100 hostages are still held by Hamas, and the international community has been far too busy admonishing Israel to place the pressure where it's really needed on Hamas, on Hezbollah and on Iran.